Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of K.L.P. Entertainment. Welcome back to the radio station here, of course, via K.L.P. Entertainment YouTube, and of course streaming on our audio platforms of Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Deezer. Did we mention iHeartRadio? We are back officially for our YouTube channel, and of course, I have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this guest has been a part of our podcast streaming services since 2015. He took a break, but now he is back on the Lucas Chat podcast. My co-host here today, Tyrus Lester, is in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in, y'all.
Thank you, Kennedy. Thank you so much for having me back on the show. It's exciting. It's very exciting to be back here on our podcast show. Again, I remember when I first started in 2015, and it has been amazing. To say the least, has been amazing. And Kennedy, you've been at work. I mean, you've been making these movies. And the intro for the podcast show was really, really good. I heard some of the samples. It was pretty nice. You're changing the game up.
Thank you so much. So, I appreciate it, T. So we're back here on the Lucas Chat podcast. Now, we've got some interesting, exciting news to talk about. Of course, we have some things to talk about when it comes to gaming related. Hopefully, you guys are staying safe due to the whole pandemic of COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to express that people make sure they stay very, very safe. You know, don't go outside when you don't have to. I know here in Atlanta, they had ordered a stay-home order. Minus whether if you have to go to the store, minus where you have to go to your essential business. A lot of businesses are classified essential, and a lot do not classify as essential. So we want to encourage, people to stay safe and stay inside all you can, and make sure that you guys are staying safe and not trying to catch this thing.
Yeah, so I agree with Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen, Lester Nation fans that have been following us. If you do not have to go outside, please be sure to stay inside. Don't go outside. Stock up on groceries that you need. There's a lot of stores out there, Publix, Kroger, Target. Go out there and stock up on groceries because, we never know how this thing's going to go. The stay-home order is issued now up until April 13th, Kennedy, is that correct?
Yes.
So April 13th, please, you guys stay home, stay safe. Now, we've got some announcements today. Let's get on with it, Kennedy. Of course, we've got the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 coming out, and the battle has begun between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. It's going to be decided by specs. It's not going to be decided by specs. As I look at our producer here, PlayStation and Xbox has a long way to go. Two systems that are very essential, two systems that are coming out, and I am so stoked to see what goes on with this. So, Kennedy, what are your takes on that?
So, I personally, I like both. I have both. Not trying to gloat or anything for the podcast, but Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 are two highly anticipated consoles to come out, ladies and gentlemen. Last week, Sony and Microsoft is in the set of stage for the battle between, hopefully, to take place in this year's with the release of PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Now, I did see a note earlier in the office today, that PlayStation 5, due to the whole virus thing, it will not be in delay. It will be coming out as planned. So, it's exciting to say the least that PlayStation 5 will be launched as planned. I know a lot of businesses, a lot of companies are postponing a lot of things. A lot of film studios, I'm hearing, I don't work for Pinewood, obviously, but, Pinewood is one of our good production studios here in Atlanta, our good neighbor. I would like to say good neighbor. We're nowhere near Pinewood Studios, but we like to say our neighbor because you got Tyler Perry and Pinewood, you got Swanky Studios. Honestly, it's good. It's a bittersweet moment where, it's not delayed. It's going to be very, very exciting for this system, for both systems to come out, particularly PlayStation 5, make sure that they're staying on balance. And T, I actually seen photos of the Xbox Series X, and that's going to be a whole nother different podcast for what we talk about later. But it is very exciting, to say the least, that both these systems are doing something very special, and to really upgrade, upscale for the next generation for gamers out there. You know, I've started in gaming, you started in gaming, T, and it's been amazing for sure. So I cannot wait for that.
So both systems are posed to bring rich new experience, ladies and gentlemen, with the high-end feature to console gaming. But if you think either one is going to win on specs alone, you gotta think again. Even without knowing that the PlayStation 5 will actually look like, by looking at their underlying architecture for it, it's clear that the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 have a lot of things in common. Both consoles will be and will have a CPU and a GPU base with the AMD Z2 and RDNA 2 on architecture. So with both Microsoft and Sony, the laboring is unnecessary. Both consoles will also feature of course, new things within the SSDs. Now, it is exciting, to say the least. It is exciting that they're doing something like this. They're upgrading the technology. They're upgrading the scale for the consoles. That way they can go beyond gaming consoles. Now, will we be able to get the game? I know Kennedy, I know you have both, but I can sense you kind of leaning towards the PlayStation 5 era. Me personally, I'm more of an Xbox man. You know, I'm Xbox all the way. Previous podcasts we've done, we've talked about podcast and gaming with Xbox because that's just my forte. I love Xbox. I grew up playing Xbox, so it really is amazing, to say the least. The end result of those components is that Microsoft says that the Xbox Series X will deliver 12 teraflops, which is fancy but relative abstract way for qualifying the new Xbox performance. Meanwhile, Sony says PlayStation 5 will have make do with absolute 10.3 teraflops. In case of our worries there, it continue clearly to in writing its code within the system. These numbers, they may sound impressive, but when the game consoles come out, I'm eager to know what it's gonna do. I'm eager to know what it's going to do on screen, what it's going to do in the reviews, because YouTubers, they're going to do it. They're going to buy both systems, and they're going to review both systems. So I'm excited. Kennedy, I would say this. I'm kind of sad. You know, it's a sad occasion right now because, you know, as many people might know, they end up canceling E3 for right now. So do I think E3 might be coming back up? Maybe, because E3 doesn't happen to June. So what I like to do, of course, here in Spreaker Studios is I like to make sure that we cover something within that scale. We cover something that kind of covers up that lack of not having E3 this year.
So a gap with 1.7 and so teraflops either way isn't big enough that the Xbox Series X will be capable of handling playing games in 8K. Now, Tyrus, there's a lot of things going on right now about 8K and 4K and 8K. So it really shows that these gaming console companies, they're trying to develop newer ways to advocate more with 8K and 4K TV displays. And, you know, these TV companies, you guys can see our latest video. We did a new review of the 2020 LG TVs. A lot of these companies like Samsung and LG and Vizio and Sharp, they're trying to develop these TVs up to the greatest scale of 8K because they know that these games are coming out. They know that these consoles are coming out, and they're trying to perform at best for 4K and 8K. So, of course, in my house, I have smart TVs, but I don't have 8K, 4K. I wish I did. That stuff is expensive. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, do you think this will be a great opportunity for that? You know, it's a lot of things going on with this, and 2020 is the year where both consoles will come out, of course, that we know of. We did hear PlayStation 5 will be launched as normal, and I did hear Xbox Series X will be coming out later on this year. So it's going to be a fun year of gaming, because 2020 is the year where they're having a lot of games to come out. I cannot wait for the new Marvel game to come out, because when that new Marvel game comes out, it's going to be very, very exciting, and I can't wait to see if they're going to do something like that for. I just can't wait to see if they're going to do something like that for, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X for the game. So, I can't wait.
So it's been a lot. A lot will be coming down to various tweaks of Microsoft and Sony to make the AMD hardware platforms, while AMD will also make Zen 2 and RDNA components for the PlayStation personal computer world. PC parts makers don't have quite the same ability to customize the silicon on these components of console makers. So PC's in the realm of this, PC. So I've never been a PC gamer. Ladies and gentlemen, I've never been a PC gamer. Kennedy, I'm not too sure if you dabbled in PC or not, but I just can't dabble into it.
Yeah, so I've never been a PC gamer, actually.
So, yeah, that's true. Because PC is great, but it's just not for me. A lot of my friends, a lot of my people when we're on set, people love PC. I'm just a console player. Die-hard console player. I have to be a console player. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think about the PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X. Let us know what you think of it. Which gaming console will win? Now, every year, they're going to have it where when the console's been out for a while, they will determine which console won. They did it for PlayStation, and quite honestly, I'm hearing that PlayStation 4 won against Xbox One. So that's what I'm hearing, but, things could change, and when the new series of gaming consoles come out, I can't wait to see what comes up next. And, we'll be covering that. Me and Kennedy here in the studio, we'll be covering it up, and we'll make sure that we will be talking about it a lot for the gaming community.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the Lucas Chat Podcast. T, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast, man. It's always good to have you back, and I can't wait for the future of our podcast to continue on as we celebrate. April is coming up, and this is where we get ready to celebrate our 10-year anniversary. Can you believe it? 10 years, T. We made it.
I can't even believe it. You did it 10 years now. I only came in, for me, it's a celebration of 5 because I only came in 2015. But to really see that, Kennedy, you grew this company up to 10 years, it's amazing. And I'm proud and I'm humble for it. So it's bittersweet, honestly.
So that's going to wrap it up. Before we log off here on the podcast, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And please be sure to contact with us when we're talking about gaming. Swanky Gaming is out there on Twitch. And, I'm proud of that because we started a gaming channel. We're starting it back up for twitch.tv/gaming, Swanky Gaming 3. And we're also doing it at K.L.P. Entertainment's YouTube channel as well. So that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. T and Key at K.L.P. live here in the studio. Thank you for listening to our podcast here, and please be sure to come back for more podcasting. Until then, stay swanky, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's it for this week's episode. Add us to your podcatcher or on iTunes now so that you can make sure you never miss out on another second of our wonderful podcast. We would hate for you to miss out. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening.